Hey everyone. So I had a request to give an update on lower surgery. Right now I am 12 years post-op, which is just crazy to me. I'm actually making this video hiding outside. I've got puffy morning face. It's early in the morning because it seems like my kids are just on me, man. Like they're not young kids. My kids are 12 and 13 years old. But it seems like no matter what I'm doing, that's where they want to be all the time. And it's been like that the entire time I've had them. So I had to come out here early in the morning, hide, because the second I say the word crotch out loud, I just know they're going to like come out from behind the bushes or something. Um, but yeah, it has been 12 years since I had lower surgery and almost 13 since I had my hysterectomy and ovaries removed. And it's crazy that it's been that long. You know, life just um, keeps on passing by. But just as a quick recap of the lower surgery route I chose, because everybody has different wants and desires, and those are all okay. I wanted zero female organs at all in my body. I wanted those stupid things out of there. So I had a hysterectomy where my uterus was removed. I had, I think it's oophorectomy, but I always pronounce that wrong. But I had my ovaries completely removed. Um, and then once that healing was completed, um, I had vaginectomy, which I describe as coring the apple. Um, I had urethral lengthening. I had metoidioplasty, um, scrotoplasty to create a scrotum, and testicular implants. And that all happened in 2014. So when I had the surgery, I did have two complications. Um, when my first surgery, where I had the metoidioplasty and the urethral lengthening and vaginectomy, I did have a fistula that didn't heal kind of near the tip of the penis. So that resulted in, I had my mainstream of pee, but then I also had like this little drip. Um, and in order to fix that, I actually had to have it repaired when I went back for my second surgery to have my testicular implants. So when I had my second surgery and my testicular implants, I had the fistula repaired. However, that repair was not successful, and I still have the fistula to this day. The placement of it makes it so that it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, ideally there would be no fistula, but because it's near the tip of the penis, it just kind of flows right into the stream or drips straight down and still makes it in the urinal or toilet. So it's not a big deal to me. It's certainly not a large enough deal where I'm going to go and try to have it repaired again, because every time I have it repaired, I have to go in and get that stupid suprapubic catheter where the catheter goes pierces through your abdomen into your bladder, and you've got the tube hanging out for 6 to 8 weeks while you heal. And in my opinion, that's the worst part of the entire surgery. So I don't plan on ever having that fixed. It's just not that big of a deal to me. um, and then the other complication I had one of my testicles eroded, so it essentially, pushed itself out. My body didn't want it. It wasn't interested in it. So I've been floating around for 12 years with one testicle, and honestly, it doesn't really bother me either. I'm sure for some people they're a lot less chill about these little problems, but I just don't care. It doesn't affect me. And honestly, with metoidioplasty, you're not left with a big ass member. You're just kind of left with what you were able to grow. So I honestly feel like, proportionally speaking, the one testicle is fine and it doesn't bother me at all. And to me, it just feels normal. It feels like, you know, who I am, and as close to what I'm gonna get to my true body in this lifetime. But let's talk about happiness. It's been 12 years. Well, first of all, there's been no other complications. Everything is working as well as it did once I was healed up. My stream is strong. I easily pee standing up in any place I want to. Um, my other testicle seems to be happy and at home. I do think I remember reading that they have the silicone testicles have like a 10-year lifespan, but I don't know. I'm not having any issues, and I'm not eager to go, you know, swap it out just because. So I'm just gonna go with it and see see how many years I can get out of it. But joy and satisfaction wise, I wouldn't change any of the decisions I made. Metoidioplasty was the right surgery for my circumstances. Other people may feel differently. Because for me, it was really important to have a naturally functioning penis that could become erect on its own naturally. I was also really concerned about retaining all of my sexual feeling and function because that's something that's important to me, and I did, which was great. And also, it was really, really important to me to. My dogs are barking. I hope my kids aren't like awake and coming out here or like listening in the bushes. Um, it's so hard to be a parent, really. Like, ignore your hobbies or your like privacy unless you're literally hiding in the bathroom, which I almost thought about making this video in the bathroom. What was I saying? Oh, joy and satisfaction. So one of the, honestly, and this is going to sound stupid to some people, but again, we all get our joy where we get our joy. One of the biggest satisfactions of my life is getting to stand to pee. It just is so pleasurable for me. And I think maybe if I lived in the city, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I don't. I live out in the country, and we hike and we mountain bike and we go on river trips and we boat, and like we're outside in so many situations where there's nowhere to go to the bathroom. And I would feel so untrue to myself. And if I had to like constantly look for a bathroom or be a problem looking for a bathroom or have to like drop trow in the woods to like squat and pee, that feels so incredibly the opposite of who I am. So I get a lot of joy from just peeing in the woods. I really do. I also just have a huge amount of joy. I live out on. I have got some property. We've got a garden, a yard. It's foresty. I also just enjoy peeing outside. So if you're ever at my house, just know I've peed all over here, everywhere. There's pee everywhere. There really is. Joking. I pee in appropriate spots outside. But that's just it's enjoyable. So everyone has their own path with transition, and there's varying levels of dysphoria and what it's going to take to make you feel like you're close enough in your body that you feel sure I hear footsteps, I'm just paranoid. Close enough in your body that you feel that you are the truest version of yourself that you can be in this, while we're on this place on this earth. So for me, I wouldn't change anything. I'm really happy with my choices and with the level of body trueness that I've been able to attain. But again, I do want to say, if you're considering surgery, you have surgery coming up, don't feel pressured into one surgery or the other. Do your research and do what feels right and correct to you. That's really important. And also know that, clearly there's a huge physical piece to surgical recovery. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of stillness that you have to do, to help encourage your body and give it the best opportunity to heal. Be as healthy as you can going into it, so your body is fortified right out of the gate. But honestly, the larger piece, and I've mentioned this in my videos years and years and years ago, there's a larger piece to healing than the physical piece, and that's the psychological piece. There's big psychological piece to healing, because you're going in there making a significant change to your body so that you feel more true to yourself, so you feel more whole, so you feel more complete. And there's a lot of fear that goes with it, like, will this be enough for me? Will my body still work sexually? Will I still be able to pee? um, will I have significant complications? How's it going to look when I'm done? Will it look close enough to a biological uh, penis that I'll feel, free to, use my new body and be with my body in public? Those are all really real questions that you have nothing to do but sit and think about while you're healing. So my suggestion is to just load up on lots of happy music, funny shows, and just keep your mind in a zone where you're not thinking about, those sort of things. At least not at the very forefront of your being. Beyond that, I don't really. There's no updates to give. Like, I've just been on like crotch autopilot for 12 years. It just does its thing. I'm happy with it. Everything works great. I have no plans on making any changes unless like some robotic bionic penis comes out. I'm gonna go with what I have, and I'm really happy with it. So for the person that messaged and wanted a little bit of an update, I know your surgery's coming up. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard, but since when has something being hard been a good enough reason to not do it? The joy that I have received from having lower surgery is so great that, if that's something that's in your heart as well, go for it. It's going to be great. You're going to do great. So, peace and good luck.